everybody, we're back. Oh, it's Boomer and Peggy, and this is the History Shelf, and I'm back for a book tag. So, he's such a ham bone. Look at this face. Yeah, he's a good boy. Tell you're adoring. Hello. Okay, alright. I'll put you back on in a little bit. Anyway, hi BookTube. I'm here to do the Dilemmas of a Book Nerd tag. I am going to be trying to make some more videos this weekend. It's been kind of a busy week. I wanted to have another video up during the week, but it just didn't work out. But thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far to my channel. I'm very happy to be, commenting and talking to all of you guys out there. It's been a lot of fun. I know that everyone's really loving my bookcases and books. You can see some other thing. Oh, focus it. Now you can see my bobblehead. Right there, that is my Ulysses S. Grant bobblehead. You'll find out soon enough as I start to dive into some of my Civil War books that Ulysses Grant is my hero. He is my favorite personage from the Civil War. I've read just about everything on him. Anyway, so it's kind of a neat little tchotchke. I'll pull it down sometime and show you guys up close. But anyway, I do have some book tags I want to start catching up on. I have been tagged to do the favorite author by Jason Harrigan. Thank you. And I will be working on that this weekend. I've been putting my list together, but I have to categorize, and that always takes a little bit of extra time for me, But Boomer's watching me forlornly across the room. Anyway, let's just dive into this book tag so you guys can find out about my nerdiness. So, book storage, dilemma number 1. How do you store and organize your books? So I have a lot of books, like I'm sure all of you do, and many of them are in storage now, things I have read or grown out of, but I'm not ready to part with yet. And I like to store them in big Tupperware bins to keep them safe from water, mildew, anything that kind of creeps in with cardboard boxes. So I do store them in big Tupperware bins. I have a lot of them in the garage. For books that have overflown my bookshelves, I tend to put them into cardboard boxes, but they're in the house, and they're usually like in a closet or something like that. Yeah, I need to do an inventory soon and start to purge. It's just hard. It's just hard for me to part with some of these things. But anyway, that's how I store. As far as organizing, I need to be better at organizing. These shelves here are more organized than anything else that I have in the house. When I start to film in the upstairs office library, when we bought the shelves for that room, everything was just kind of thrown up on those shelves, and I never got around to organizing them again. But then a part of me was like, I kind of like being surprised as I'm running my fingers over the spines, to go from one topic in history to another and just be completely surprised, like we're going from, history of Africa here to something that happened in the 1920s, in Paris. It's just, I kind of like to be surprised. If I know that I have a whole shelf that's just like Russian, it almost seems too daunting at times. But that's what I do right here. I'm trying to do the, I've got Russian stuff that goes down another shelf. I need to show you the shelves. I mean, I know that's what you guys are looking at, you're zooming in on, and I get it. I'm looking at the shelves right now behind me. Yeah, there's some awesome stuff there. I don't disagree. I love these books. Anyway, dilemma number 2, tracking. How do you keep track of what you have read and what books you own? So before I met my partner, Martine, I used to have a handwritten journal, and I like to have like a reading log for each year, which books I read, and that does sound very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very old-fashioned. Analog, thank you. Uh, but I like handwriting. I like journaling. So I like handwriting. That's really good, Peg. I don't know what that meant, but I like to journal, and I would write down my the list of everything I've read, and just keep it, But then as technology just kept outpacing everything else that had to do with paper and pen. Um, then I moved into, well, I'm not going to say spreadsheets. I never did that. But then Martine said that there's an app that you can scan, and I think it's called, I don't have my phone right here, CLZ or something like that. You can scan books with the ISBN as soon as they come in, and then you just have it so that if you're not sure if you have a title, just go into your app and check it out. So there's tons of those apps now. We scanned a lot of my books. We're at, the last count was like 1,400, but I have way more than that. So, and I haven't been good about scanning the ones that have come in the last 6 to 7 months. So, anyway, kind of just lose track of that. However, I have a really good memory when it comes to my books. I think out of all of the thousands of books that I own, I've only bought duplicates. I'm going to say 2, maybe 3 times, but I'm pretty sure it was only 2. And I can remember which one. One of them. It was The Path Through the Seas by David McCullough, and I accidentally bought a second volume that I had 2 hardcovers, and I was like, oh. And I was really upset with myself when that happened. I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. But it happens when you have just thousands of titles. It's going to happen. So anyway, but I kind of rely on my memory. I have a pretty good memory for jacket covers and authors, so that's not a problem for me. So dilemma number 3, borrow. Do you lend your books out? I don't, because no one asks for them. If I had a bunch of maybe contemporary fiction, YA, maybe. I know a lot of people that read YA, and no one really asks to borrow my big volume on World War II, or to read about Verdun, or the Battle of Chickamauga. I mean, no one wants it, so it's not a problem for me. But the joke is in my family that ever since I was a little girl, if you picked up one of my books, I would be so paranoid about you breaking the spine or anything like that. That'd be like, with paperbacks, like you can only open it this much, And I was never that bad, but I can't stand when people just, really just manhandle these books. But anyway, so it's not a problem. No one really wants my books, but what are you gonna do? Dilemma number 4, buying. How do you buy or acquire books? Your books, just like everybody else. I bought a lot over Amazon. I used to be a big history book club buyer back when they had the super cheap prices. But then I realized why they were super cheap as I got more and more into book collecting and understanding the quality of books that different distributors would have. And I realized over time, as I started to buy more and more first editions of hardcover, and I love hardcover, that the book club editions were cheap. They had that really cheap black cardboard, and you could always tell a book club edition if you flip over the glossy jacket. There's a little white box at the bottom on the right hand side of the book with a number on it, and that's the book club edition. I guess their version of an ISBN, but it's just a number in a white box. So over the years I've been trying to weed out those editions because they really do not age well. I have a bunch of history book club editions that are just yellowed. The pages are yellowed, and there's nothing like a first edition. It ages well. Pages are nice and white. So anyway, I kind of got off track there, but I acquired my initial history library through book clubs, through direct mail book clubs. And then Amazon just kind of just blew everyone out of the water with prices, and so I do buy from Amazon. I have moved into, for the more arcane and obscure titles, I am now using thrift books. And it can be hit or miss as far as quality, but they have a really good return policy. I've gotten some books that were not as described at all. And I wrote them and they gave me a full refund and they said, hey, do whatever you want with the book. You don't need to send it back. So, in fact, let me just show you something real quick because I'm really excited. This is probably one of the nicest editions I've gotten from a thrift book purchase. Look at this. This is Rudyard Kipling, A Life by Harry Ricketts. It's got like the library mylar cover. This book, let me see if I can get this. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's clean. There's no library markings. Doesn't smell like smoke, which, by the way, you need to be careful of with when you buy used books. Always smell your books. I'm sure a lot of you already do. I smell every book. Oh, and this one just has the library smell, though. But there are no identifying labels, no stickers. Got this off Thrift Books for probably $4.50. It was a steal. So I do buy from used bookstores, like Thrift Books. Also ABE books. Anyway, dilemma number 5, comments. How do you read so much comment or similar comments? Well, I get a lot of teasing from some family members about the amount of books I have. Some of them are pretty funny, but I just respond that, look, you know what, at some point I won't be able to buy any more books, so I'm going to be set for life with the books that I have now, and I will make time to read all of these books. It will happen. I mean, I'm buying these not to just have them be unread. I'm going to read them. That is my goal, because I just love learning, and I love history. Like I said, I know I'm like a broken record, but there's so much to learn, and I just love it. I love learning about people's lives, and I read so much because, I don't know, you just make time for it. If it's something you love, you do it. Boomer. Boomer's rolling around on his back right now. What are you doing? Okay, sorry if you heard that. Anyway, he wants me to hurry up. He wants to be in the next video. Dilemma 6, next book. How do you pick your next read? That's a great question, because when I finish a book, especially a big one, like a big history of a war, or like a study of a country or something like this, I always have that feeling like, oh God, what am I going to read next? And I look at all the books I haven't read yet, and then I have that little moment of paralysis. It's like, what do I do? I mean, what era do I want to go to? Should I stick with what I've been doing? Or should I just do a time leap, do something different? So I kind of just browse my shelves, and I'm like, okay, what's really, appealing to me right now? What's calling my name? It also helps if I know someone else is also reading that time or place or that person, and it kind of, it gets me to jump and to get back into it. So I kind of follow along with what I'm feeling, but also what other people I follow are reading, and it helps at least narrow down my choices. So, dilemma number 7, travel. How do you pick what books you bring on vacation with you? It's another great question. Again, it has to do with what I'm currently reading. If I feel safe taking it with me traveling, do I want it to get beat up? Do I want it to, is it heavy? Is it a big hardcover? I don't like reading books on Kindle. I will, and I have, but I choose to have physical books. I'm just really old school when it comes to that. So, I just kind of might take a couple of slim volumes of paperback, maybe a slim hardcover, and then usually a few journals or magazines that I'm trying to catch up on. Dilemma number 8, annotate. Do you write or highlight or mark up your books in any way? Normally, for most of my books, I don't write in the margins or underline. However, well, first of all, I never highlight. I do not like highlighters, so I agree with David Murphy on that. I do not like highlighting I just think it is tacky. Like you said, it's just kind of just ruins the look of the book. I like going with straight up pencil. I think it's elegant. Um, or black ink, um, like a roller ball, not gel. So just kind of understated. And the only thing that I will really use it for are some of my, I do read commentaries. I'm going through a commentary on the Book of Acts, and I like to use pencil. I like to just kind of underline. So as I'm flipping through the book again, if I want to flip through the book again later and see what thoughts or what insights really jumped out at me, easily they just pop out. I can reread them. It's very helpful. So I do that with my theological studies, and that's another area I forgot to mention I do enjoy. I have a wall of books up in my bedroom with commentary, ancient commentary, Reformation, and I just find church history is fascinating, as well as just for my own spiritual edification, if you will. I like to read and learn. I like to know what it is that I believe in. So I'm always trying to educate myself more on that. Let's see. Dilemma 9, new or backlist? Which do you prefer, new releases or backlist? So I would say backlist because, again, the majority of my books are backlist. I do buy new releases, but there's so much great stuff that I haven't read yet, and it's all on backlist, and so I have to say I'm a backlist type of gal. Number 10, last question, sequels. Do you read books as they are released or wait for an entire series to be published before reading one book? No, I read books as they are released. And I'm actually, I need to start reading, I know that David Murphy, can you see it? Ooh. No, you can't see it, but it's the James Holland, it's behind my head, I think. The James Holland trilogy he's working on, I've read, hang on. Where are we at here? I can't even find my own books. Okay, so I've read The Rise of Germany, and I need to get into The Allies Strike Back. So I'm reading them in order, and of course I also bought his D-Day standalone, which is right next to these, right behind me. So those are some of the books that I'm working on, and I do try to go in order. But I don't wait. I mean, why wait? It could be years and years before it comes out. So you kind of want to remember the way that person writes. Oh my gosh, so it's like 18 minutes, so I probably lost most of you. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to make another video. I'm going to upload this one, but I got some stuff in the mail I'm really excited about, and I'm going to do a quick video on that and show you what I got. Anyway, guys, so thanks for sticking around. If you stuck around this long, I really, thumbs up to you. I need to go check on Boomer. I also have 2 more dogs that I would really like to also bring on camera. They are my tiny gals. So maybe next time. In the meantime, have a great night. Have a happy Friday. Hope you're reading something good. Comment below. I'm always happy to hear from all you guys. So until then, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.